Hey guys, it's Amanda. I'm gonna read part 7 to My Parents Run a Successful Business in the Black Market. This is the second to last one. The last one, part 6, was something for sure. But part 7, Old Friends. Alyssa Hinkle was my longtime friend. We met in kindergarten and instantly became partners in crime. Always talking in class, always separated. Always getting separated. We were thick as thieves. She only lived 4 miles away, and we were always together. When we were at school and when we weren't. Alyssa's family was middle class, but lower middle class. That didn't bother me at all. My mom had warned me that people like that usually have a motive to hang around. But that didn't make sense to me as a kid. Alyssa always preferred to come to the house though. She called it the palace. We'd play in the backyard on the jungle gym, or we'd play some kind of pretend game and run around the house. One time we got busted for playing dress up in mom's clothes and heels. What was this idea? She had a power over me that no one else did, an influence. She could suggest an idea I knew was terrible, but I could never fight it. I went along, a bad influence. About 5 years into our friendship, I started to realize how different we were. She became sexually aware and started drinking, occasionally stealing green oval pills from her mom and popping them like candy. I took one once, but I didn't like how it made me feel. I started to get in trouble more and eventually was banned from hanging out with her. But I couldn't help it. That would make him like 10. No. I guess kindergarten 6. 11? Ooh. So we'd sneak and hang out when our parents were working, which was a lot. I just couldn't quit her, no matter how mean or how bad she had influenced me. She was addicted to the pills, and I was addicted to her. I realized quickly that I had fallen in love with her. They're 11. Ew. One time we made out after we had just a few too many wine coolers. To her it was fun and something to do. To me it was passionate and meaningful. I found myself always wanting to get her drunk again just to relive that moment. Once I had made a pass at her sober. What the heck, Hannah? She shot. You're my best friend, but I like boys. She said with a look in her eye like she felt sorry for me. But I loved her. The last time we hung out, we were in my room listening to Michael Jackson and trying our best at the moonwalk. She tripped and fell. Her wool socks on the hardwood floor slipping right under her, and she fell hard. She screamed. I waited on her reaction to see what level of pain she was in, but then she laughed. So did I. I reached to help her up, and she got up out of her pockets fell. Oh, I reached to help her up, and as she got up, out of her pockets fell a heart earring that I had misplaced earlier that day. I had them on and I took them off for a shower, and when I returned they were gone. I figured Potato had just jumped up there and knocked them off. Or that I had forgotten where to put them. It never occurred to me that anyone had taken them. Our eyes met. "You took them?" I asked, confused. We literally looked at them for 30 minutes together. "Oh, I found them. I forgot I told you. I forgot to tell you," she said with excitement as she picked one off the floor and put the other in her pocket. She placed them in my hand. I found them while you were in the kitchen. I put them in my pocket so I wouldn't lose them. Against my better judgment, I made myself believe her. But anyways, that thought in the back of my head that she had stolen them. The feeling of betrayal floated around somewhere in the back of my mind. I felt off for a while, but I let it go. I could feel our dynamics starting to change. Ever since I made a pass at her, it was different. You were 11. If that. She left a couple hours later, after we had made some grilled cheese sandwiches and had grape soda while watching a sappy soap opera, our favorite pastimes. She had left earlier than she was going to. I didn't fight it. I still had that off feeling. The next day I was getting ready for church, and I went to grab my locket from my jewelry box that my mother had given me months ago on her deathbed. Cancer of the lungs, a torturous death, a slow burn. I wore it almost every day. I took such great care of it. I took it off at night or in the shower as to not break it or tarnish it. I searched through the box, no locket. I searched my bed, nightstand, bathroom, fluffy rug that took up half my floor, under my dresser. Nothing. No locket. I ran into my parents' room with anxiety starting to build. "Have you seen my locket?" I shrieked, speaking to no one in particular. "Where's the last time you had it?" Mom asked. "The jewelry box, where it always is," I said. "I haven't seen it, sweetie, but I'll come help you look," she said. I ran back to my room, starting to panic. Tears started to soak my face. "Sweetie, we will find it. It couldn't have gone far. Don't cry," my mom said. We looked for almost an hour, to no avail. "Could you have left it in your locker at school?" "No, it was there. It was there," I pointed to the jewelry box. "I took it off when I showered yesterday afternoon, and when I put it there, I never put it back on. I never put it back on," I said as dread started to wash over me. Surely not. Alyssa, she had taken my earrings. Could she have also snatched my locket? She wouldn't have. I tried to shake the thought out of my head. She knew how much that locket meant to me. My grandmother was my best friend. I sat on the edge of my bed. Sadness consumed me. "Do you want to stay home from church, sweetie?" Mom asked in a worried voice. I stayed home. The next day on the bus, I had rehearsed what I was going to say to Alyssa. I got back to school and went to my locker to get my books for the day. I saw Alyssa across the hall, talking to her cheerleading friends, laughing and whispering something. I shut my locker and walked towards the girls hushing as I got close. "Where is it?" I shot. The whole rehearsed speech flying out the window. She laughed and looked at the group, waiting for them to laugh and judge me. "Where is that?" "My locket, my granny's locket. You took it, just like you took my heart earrings," I shot back angrily. I didn't take your locket. And the heart earrings you claim I took are in your ears." I didn't take your locket. "And the heart earrings you claim I took are in your ears. I realized she had now made me look like a fool. I was wearing those earrings. I always did. They were from Greece, and my dad had brought them back from one of his conferences. Real diamonds. Blue, Swiss blue. You took them Saturday. They fell out of your pocket and I caught you. Or don't you remember? I said with my face squishing up. She looked around the group and all exchanged looks as if to say, look how crazy this girl is. And listen, Hannah, just because I don't want to be your girlfriend doesn't mean you can go around accusing me of stealing your stuff. You clearly still have. Stealing stuff you clearly still have. The girls broke out into oohs and ahs. My face turned red and I felt hot. The girls started to laugh. It grew louder and louder. I looked around and ran off. The rest of the day, people would call me a lesbo. In middle school, rumors were bad. But this kind of rumor, well, I guess it wasn't a rumor. I got home from a long day of being bullied and I screamed into a pillow. My dad walked into my room. What's going on, kid? You alright? He asked. I hate her. I freaking hate her. I know she took my locket just like she took my earrings. And now this, I yelled like he had an idea of what I was talking about. Ooh, did somebody hurt you? I paused. I was about to tell him I had been sneaking around with Alyssa, knowing he would just say I told her so. I didn't care, but I had to get it out. I told him everything, the sneaking, the kiss, the rejection, the earrings, the locket, the locker incident, the bullying. By the time I was done talking, I realized I had just exposed myself as the one secret I tried to keep from everyone. He sat there in silence for a moment. Are you sure she took Granny's locket? He asked. Positive, I said with tears in my eyes. What do you intend to do about it? What can I do? I said, wiping a tear from the back of my sleeve. We can gain revenge, and then we can talk it back. You can get revenge, and then we can get it back, he said as he got up and walked towards my door. But how? I said hopelessly. We'll figure that out. Don't let that girl bully you either. You stand up for yourself. I always knew she was bad news. You fight back. Don't you understand me? Do you understand me? I nodded. He walked out of the room. Alyssa had become my tormentor that year. She ran a Hate Hannah group that bullied me relentlessly. I had things thrown at me all the time. Lesbo written on my locker in permanent marker at least every other week. I became a hermit. Save for a few friends that I had from church, I was alone. I started to hate my life. Alyssa went from being my best friend to somebody I daydreamed about hurting. About getting even with, like my dad said. All I needed was my chance. Alyssa screamed a muffled noise, clearly pleading for help. I snapped out of my thoughts. Dad had an instrument in his hand, and it was reflecting light into my eyes, blinding me for a brief second. What is that? Oh, that's what I would ask. This is what we'll start with, he said, showing me the surgical instruments that would be used to fillet my old friend. Now, as much as I would like her to be awake for this, it would be hard on our ears, with her wailing around and all. So I have a suggestion, he said with a smile. I waited. Since little Hinkle decided to do such a number on your life, I was thinking I might have something that would allow her to feel your pain silently. What does that mean, I asked. Have you ever heard of the date rape drug? Yes, Mom made me watch that documentary. And she had. She wanted me to be aware of dangers of partying and taking drinks from strangers. Well, this is a pharmaceutical version of that, he said. He stood in silence. Do you understand what I am implying here? No. That she will be able to feel everything we do to her, but she won't be able to move or speak, I asked. He smiled. And how do you feel about that? He asked in a concerned tone. Well, I think this bitch deserves more. I spat back in her direction. She closed her eyes and looked down, sobbing uncontrollably. Shall we start already? I asked. My time has come. Bullying is bad. So what do you think of the story so far? It definitely took a turn that I wasn't expecting. There is one more part to it. I'm not really sure where I'm kind of in shock. I wasn't expecting the story to have this many twists anyways. But we have one more left. I'm going to probably stop and let everything cool down for a bit. And then read the last part. Hopefully there's something, a good way to end this. I don't know how you could end this goodly, but I need to charge everything. Okay. Well,